Hey there, quilting friends. It's Carolina Moore, your favorite sewing and quilting YouTuber, and I'm here today with my fabric bundles and my color cards for a requested video on putting fabric colors together. So you ready? Let's get started. Okay, so here is the number one rule in picking fabrics for quilts or projects. It's the number one rule, and after this rule, like, nothing else really matters. And so yes, there is more video to come, but really this is the one rule that matters. Pick fabrics that make you happy, right? Pick fabrics that make you happy. If it makes you happy, if you like the way it looks, boom, done. Whoa. It doesn't matter what else people think or what, like, if it makes you happy, it's good, right? That's it. That's really, really it. But if, maybe you're not quite sure what makes you happy, or you, there's some, I guess, experience that comes with playing with fabric, and you're nervous about that, then I'm going to help you with a couple tips and tricks that I've learned in my, 30 years of quilting now. So we're going to hop into that. So the first is, I have all these different bundles. Fabric companies create bundles of fabric, and quilt shops will actually also create custom bundles of fabric that may not be just one fabric manufacturer. All this is art gallery fabrics because that's all I use, but these curated bundles, like, this is a specific collection of fabric. They're designed to go together, so you can grab a curated bundle, and usually that curated bundle will already have your lights, mediums, and darks, and the fabrics will go together. So depending on the pattern that you're using for your quilt, you may need more or less of these fabrics, but you can start by looking at a collection and see what already goes together, and pull like bolts of a collection as well, right? But let's say that you need like a background fabric to go with the collection that you've chosen. And like, let me show you a couple others of these, like, gorgeous fabrics, right? So these designed to go together. This one's more of like this is like more of a traditional palette to me. And then this is more of like a fall palette. But when they make collections, they design palettes to go together. Okay, so all of these, by the way, are from the Season of Tribute collections for Art Gallery Fabrics, so you can find those. But Art Gallery has these color cards, and this is for Floral Elements, which is one of their blenders. They've got great blenders. So you can grab, and by grab I mean you can buy these color cards, and once you have them, you can use them over and over to help in deciding what fabrics you're going to do. You could also do this at a quilt shop by actually physically grabbing bolts and putting them next to each other. But you could look and say, okay, I want, a background that's really going to go with this pink, let's say. So it might be this pink right here, and that is sugar pink, right? Or I want something that's more of this fuchsia, and I think that's going to be shockingly, it's called fuchsia. Or I want something that's going to be a little darker. Okay, so that's going to be this shocking pink here. So you can pull colors that way. Let's say that I have this this yellow that I want to kind of match. I might actually go a little lighter and go to this custard that has more cream and yellow tones. So you can pick fabrics this way, because if you look at the next fabric in right here, that really matches with that custard. So for a background fabric, if I wanted something that had a pattern to it, Floral Elements is a great place to go. They're solid dyed fabrics that then have a print on them of kind of like sister colors, and so they blend across multiple colors that way. Okay, so that would be using Floral Elements. They also have squared elements, same kind of thing. A light background with, or sometimes a colored background with squares on it. So it's a little more of a geometric design. Deco Stitch Elements is one of the newer elements that they have. Also great. So it's kind of like a duotone. It's a color with a sister color printed on top of there. So, and actually this two different sister colors, colors printed on there, so that you get kind of some color variation in it. and it pulls you away from being like such a stark solid, because sometimes it's hard to find like a solid that matches. So this gives you a little variation, so you don't have to just go with, okay, this is the closest solid. You now have, it gives some interest and variation in that. Prisma Elements, another great one of their blenders, also done on solid die. And then Oval Elements, which again uses multiple colors. This is a busier print to me, but it can look really great too. But it has multiple colors in there to kind of bring your colors together. Okay, so those are the elements. And then there are also color cards for solids. And all manufacturers will have color cards for their solids. They do. So I, again, use Art Gallery Fabrics. Art Gallery has worked really hard and expanded and expanded and expanded. And like here, there's even more, expanded their solids range. So they have a ton of options for solids. And then you can take your bundles and, okay, let's pick a different bundle. So we're going to do this kind of traditional palette. And let's say I wanted this dark navy. I would probably go with this nocturnal here. But you can do this by grabbing bolts in the shop, or at home if you're buying online, you want to grab a color card because the colors that you see online on your screen aren't going to be a perfect match for what you have in your hands, and being able to see it in, you know, natural light like this. I'm putting this together in the wrong. Do I even know how to put, there we go. Put it back together. Okay. So the general rule when putting together like a bundle of fabrics, I'm going to pull this bundle apart, right? When you're putting together fabrics, is that each fabric needs to have two friends. As long as it has two friends that it goes with, then it'll work great. So I'm going to pull from a different bundle. And we're going to do this just straight on with you. So you can obviously see that all these go together. This is from a different bundle. This is not from this collection. But when I put it here, you can see it goes right with these. Why? Because it matches here and it matches here. So it has these two friends. It will work in this bundle, right? But if I were to grab, I don't know, this one, this background is more of a, almost like a gray or a darker cream. So it's not blending. Like that cream kind of works with this here and some of this here, but you can see it sticks out. It doesn't have friends. Even if I put it elsewhere in this bundle, it doesn't play with the friends as nicely, right? So that's what you want to look at. Here's like a completely wild. So these two fabrics, if I was doing a 2-color project, completely different collections, I would use these together. They make me happy. I think they're fun. They're bold. They're both really jewel toned. So they kind of have the same color family, and that they're those jewel toned. But when I start putting them with these others, it doesn't work together as well. I mean, maybe if I pulled these two out because they don't play with that as nicely, then maybe it's a little harder because the green in here is a different green than this. So when I'm bringing this over in this direction, it's not as friendly. It doesn't work as well. Again, something like this works in there more nicely. So you can see how those go together, right? And then you just kind of get a feel for, okay, does, you know, take multiple steps back from it, hold it out, squint a little bit. These are like, see, like when you kind of squint at it, what sticks out? Like look away and then look back at it. Like play peekaboo with your fabric to see, okay, is this making me happy? Is this working? Is there something that's saying I'm not a friend here? I don't work here. And it doesn't mean that it's not a gorgeous fabric. Like all of these fabrics are gorgeous. It's not a matter of the fabric not being beautiful and stunning. It's a matter of it playing well with the other fabrics and what you want it to do in the quilt. Is it going to stick out like a sore thumb, or is it going to work together in harmony with the other fabrics that you have going on? So there you go. Quick lesson in kind of putting fabrics together. Number one rule, if it makes you happy, it works. But they just pull out your fabrics, or if you don't have the ability to have bolts and bolts of fabric at your home, which I totally understand, get yourself some color cards so that you can start playing with the fabrics that way and seeing what fabrics go together. And I hope that helps. If you have any tips for fabric selection, feel free to leave those in the comments, and then everyone else check out those comments and see what other tips other folks have. If you have questions for how to put fabrics together, leave those in the comments, and please go look for those questions. I mean, I'll answer them to the best of my ability. But color theory is something that I'm constantly working on as well. So I'd love to get tips from other folks as well on how you look at putting colors together. Yeah, give this video a thumbs up. Let people know that you enjoyed it. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Check those comments. I'll have links to these fabrics in the description. And that's it for today, my friends. I will see you right here real soon. Bye for now.